Buongiorno and welcome back to Koi Fish Johnny. Okay, so as you know, I kicked my pond up recently and I've been struggling with, not struggling, but I've been going through the inevitable battle with new pond syndrome as my filtration system builds up its good bacteria to fight off the bad bacteria, the baddies in the pond, coming from the fish feces, basically the ammonia and the nitrite, which are posing a risk to my fish at the minute. It is early morning, so my fish quite like an evening, aren't quite visible. Well, I say that they're not visible, and as I say they're visible, to turn around and check, my Karachi guy came up, and now he's gone again. But anyway, the fish are generally inactive, or not as active in the morning as they are in the sort of afternoon and evening. So you won't really see much of them, but I've got a few good videos. In fact, I've bobbed one in here now. They're the fish, they're doing really well. Anyway, so how's it been going for me? Right, as you can see at the back there, I've got a few bits and bats that I've been, one that I've added into the pond, one that I'm gonna be adding into the pond. Okay, you'll have to bear with me because the sun is shining. 1 minute is raining, the next minute the sun is just like literally blazing. It is uncontrollable. It has been 4 or 5 weeks since we added the 6 koi into the new pond, and we are looking to develop the good bacteria within the filtration system at the back. The koi in general are amazing. The Karachi koi is always #1 feeding. Jagger is generally #2, and the Shiro Tsuri is generally #3. The Sankey, unfortunately, and the Goromo are generally last. So that, I think they're absolutely looking stunning, and there's not been a mass exodus out of the pond or any problems that I've encountered so far going through this. So the 6 fish, 6 koi are really happy, but we are still trying to stabilise their environment. I've been testing my pond water quite regularly, and I've also literally just tested my tap water, just out of curiosity to see what the pH would be out of the tap water and the KH. Particularly intrigued in the KH because the KH in the pond is really high at the minute. It's 14, which I previously with my water has never been above like an 8. To have it at 14, I was a little bit worried. So I tested my tap water, and the KH within my tap water is actually 12. So between 12 and 14, there's not much difference in that. So I'm not actually as worried as I was when I looked at it originally. And obviously, you'd still rather have high KH than low KH, because if you've got no KH in your pond or super low KH, that can unstabilize the pH, because the KH protects the fluctuations in the pH. What is that thing that I said last time, a while ago, that people quite liked? Last year, I think it was, early last year, the way I developed my understanding, which is the KH in the pond is carbonate hardness, I think it is called, and basically that there protects. It's like the queen on a chessboard. It's able to move around a lot quicker, take people down, and defend the king, because the game is over if the king goes down. And that's what it's like when you're pond keeping. The game is over if the pH goes down. So that's why I liken the pH to the king on a chessboard, and the KH to the queen, because the queen is awesome and she can just like literally fly about defending the king all the time, and the best defender of the king. So basically, look after your KH and the pH will take care of itself, is the motto. Oh, look at that. Rodney's in the house over there. Can you see him? Oh, I'll have to crop you in. Oh, there you go. He's got it covered. Cheeky little rascal. Hey. See you later, Rodney. Oh, it's 3 little birds. 1 there and 2 in the tree. So that's Rodders for you. Fantastic, fantastic. What have I been doing? Like I said, 4 to 5 weeks with the fish. They seem happy, but we are still fighting. Still got really high readings, or really high readings on nitrate, and quite high readings on nitrite. But the nitrite is slowly starting to go less and less and less pink as we go through this process, as the good bacteria builds up. But last weekend I decided to get my old friend out. In fact, let's go outside. The light is killing me. The Koi Master's Advantage there. I decided to get that out. I'll tell you why in a minute, because I'll read some of the instructions. I'll not be able to remember everything that's on there. But I had a good experience with it last time. Jeez, the sun is shining. Oh, I'll have to go back inside in a minute. I put that in about a week ago, and now I'm going to be moving towards this. Oh, 1 second. Get up. Stand up. Okay, pond number 6. Within pond keeping, it's very subjective. Everyone has their own views and the right way and the wrong way. But be happy, don't worry. All the fish are still in the pond, and we're going to go through this, okay? But before I start, I just want to drop the... Like, I quite enjoyed doing the Jason Statham thing last time, so I'm going to pop a picture in here now. Does anybody know who that is? Or more importantly, his son is ultra famous. Okay? So I'm going to drop, there may or may not be some hints throughout this video, but at the end of the video, I'll pretty much tell you who that is. And it blew my mind, and I just think it's quite interesting, really, the fact that that man's son is who he is. Okay? So if you don't know who he is, you will know who he is by the end of the video. But if you don't know, you won't know. And if you do know, you know. I'm just pointing out the obvious there. This is basically what is inside what KoiMaster's Advantage says it does. And when I've used it previously, I have had good results. The fish have been, it's done exactly what it said on the tin, or the bucket if you like. KoiMaster's Advantage is a blend of natural minerals and water conditioning ingredients. And when added to a koi pond, it will dramatically improve the water quality and promote health and vitality in your koi. KoiMaster's Advantage rematerializes and replaces trace elements in pond water, creating perfect conditions for your koi to thrive. KoiMaster's Advantage acts like a sponge and flocculates impurities, moving them to the filtration chamber for biological and mechanical disposal. The removal of these toxins from the koi pond will improve your koi's health. Okay, you'll see improvements in water clarity, which I did, the koi colour, skin, sumi development. KoiMaster's Advantage also contains a biostimulant to boost your filtration performance, which is the main reason why I put it in. But I think that's like a side sort of hustle that it does as well. It's formulated to stabilise the pH, which is massive in pond keeping. The king of the pond is the pH, supported by the queen of the pond, which is the KH, and boost your KH, so boost the queen. The queen always likes a good boosting. Whilst in suspension, creating the perfect koi water. Okay, so firstly, I wasn't 100% about one word in there, and it was fluctuates. I'll just pop it down here. I'm dyslexic, so don't have a go at me for my reading quality, because it is not great. But if you bared with me with that, thank you very much. Anyway, back to fluctuation, or fluctuate. Fluctuation is actually a word, because when I googled it, it came up. Fluctuate is as it is described in there. You can sort of understand it. It sort of binds all the particles together. Basically, all the like little bits that you've got in your pond. You can probably see a bit on the top of the surface if I take you out in a minute, if the sun will allow me. It basically binds them together, so they act as like one big clump, and then it's dragged through the water as that one big clump, down into the bottom drain, through the pipework, and into the internal chamber within my nexus, well, if you've got a nexus. And then the mechanical filtration will stop those previously small particles, but are now fluctuated together, and then it'll get stuck in your inner chamber, so then you can flush it out with the toilet at the back of the nexus. So yeah, it's a little bit like when I met the wife at Bath Uni, really. I thought I fluctuated her, didn't I? So, which sounds extremely bad. But yeah, we got together, stuck together at Bath Uni, and then I dragged her up north. So in this case of the pond, and the little bits it's fluctuating together, it's fluctuating, sticking them together, and then dragging them into the filter, into the bottom drain, and down into the filter of the inner chamber to be flushed down the toilet. Not that the north is a toilet, by the way. That's not what I'm saying. But I was just trying to make it a little bit of fun. Back to being serious. KoiMaster's Advantage, I added that in like 7 days ago. And I think I got a few videos of it, so I'll drop it in here. Can you not see any fishes?
No, we're going home.
Gone home? We'll have to just keep looking, won't we? When you first put it in, it goes like misty. It's like, it's weird because you can't see your koi, but it's also quite cool as well, because when the koi comes to the window, it's like a surprise. It's like a shark arriving, like Jaws, boom, and then they're there. It is very, very cloudy, and it says for the first 24 to 36 hours, I think it stayed cloudy, which was actually bang on. The fluctuation within KoiMaster's Advantage was absolutely mesmerising. I'm not just saying that because I've got a funny way to express what fluctuation was, but before I'd used it, the water quality wasn't that good, and I did have quite a lot of particles. Whether that's come from, I have no idea. I just had a lot of little particles bobbing around the pond, and I can 100% guarantee through my own experience, KoiMaster's Advantage is a fluctuator. It's successful in flocculation. Anyway, so then the water quality has become great. This is amazing. The koi are up. This is a morning video. I'm recording this morning, and my fish are quite not nocturnal, but they only really come up to the window midday, afternoon, evening is their most active periods. In fact, I wonder what the most active periods are for your koi, or whether they're active all the time. But mine are generally a little bit quieter, and after 24 hours the flocculation had dragged everything down. The water quality is brilliant, to which I'll just take you over the top now and we'll have a little look as the Suri comes over. I'll bob you over. So you can see there, it is really clear, the water. Obviously it's still got some elements of it hanging around, and we are getting an algae sort of bloom. You're crazy, aren't you, son? There you go. Oh, got a wasp there on some flocculated pieces. So there you go. That's a prime example of flocculation. That algae or whatever it is has been binded together probably by the koi master's advantage. But one thing that you did see there was a wasp hanging around on the surface. I do seem to be getting quite a few wasps on the surface of my pond, so I must have a wasp nest quite local or within close proximity, because I'm getting a lot of wasps in there. Now my question to you is, A, have you ever had a problem with wasps on top of your pond? What would happen? Would it hurt the fish if the wasp stung them? I know it sounds like a stupid question, but there are a lot of wasps there, and I'd imagine it will be hurting them, but will it pose a problem? Should I be like on wasp duty? I have got a skimmer, but because the middle of the pond has got the aeration in the middle, sometimes things can circulate like it has done there. Do those wasps pose an immediate risk to my fish? Obviously I don't want them on there. I scoop them off and throw them to the side, but I can't really, unless I go and find the wasp nest, I can't really do that much about it other than reduce the oxygen into the middle to enable the surface to skim better. Or in fact, are the fish that intelligent that they know better than to eat a wasp? Because I've never seen one of the fish go for a wasp. That's a good one. I'd imagine that's the answer, actually. I'm pretty much sure. Well, I need you guys to clarify whether that is the answer, because nature is generally a lot more intelligent than we give it credit for. Okay, so I've come around the back. I haven't done the journey with you because the sun, like I said, is shining like crazy. But I've got these now to add into my filtration system. Originally I put the filter gel in to kick it up, to support it. I've had the koi master's advantage in there, but I'm still getting high nitrite readings, and I just believe that this, after 7 days of having the koi master's advantage on, this will help boost the system. I know I've used it a lot previously when I kicked up my pond previously, and obviously that was successful, so I'm going to be popping this in. But one thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the readings before I add this in, and then I'm going to be doing the readings 3 days and 7 days afterwards to see just what effect this really does have on the nitrite and the ammonia. We haven't really gotten a problem with the ammonia. It's just the nitrite that I'm really conscious about keeping an eye on. So basically we are banging this in with its primary goal or primary target for me in this particular incident, in this particular case, is to attack the nitrite and get that good bacteria building in that outer chamber down there. Okay, so I'm going to bang that in. I'm going to stir it up and I'm going to add it in. Okay, so there's my balls. And I'm just going to add them in here. Yeah, scoop them around. They'll go around them. They'll obviously go around themselves as they bob around. Okay guys, so bang my balls in there now, and I hope that we're not going to be waiting in vain for it to all kick up. I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be. Someone's just beat the bloody horn now. I'm really struggling with this video, whether it's the sunlight or neighbours or people driving randomly down the road and beeping the horn. And one other point of note, just quickly before I go, and there's another wasp there, this may become an issue with these wasps, is I do have a cover on there. It's only a tarpaulin cover that I pull over. Thank you to Andy at Koi Pond Lifestyle. He dropped me a little nugget of knowledge, that's what I'll call it, in the comments last time, and said that bacteria, beneficial bacteria or bacteria in general, likes darker places, so it doesn't like direct sunlight, which is also backed up by Dr. Paula Reynolds, because she said when I wanted to kill the bad bacteria, that bacteria hate sunlight. Sunlight kills bacteria. What I'm saying there, in short, is thank you, Andy, for that little comment, because it helped me develop my knowledge. Or should I say, support what I already knew. Okay, so let's take a little wander over here. Oh, I thought we was at pond number 6. We're at pond number 9. I suppose it depends on how you look at it, doesn't it? So, okay guys, so I've come back inside now. The sun is driving me crazy when I'm recording. But one thing that you might have noticed is there's a few little clues as we go through this video about who this is. This person is actually the father of this person. That's not a joke. Yep, that's it, that's correct. Bob Marley, that's Bob Marley's dad. I really did not have no idea that that would be Bob Marley's dad. Got married in Jamaica in 2017. What an amazing place Jamaica is. Beyond beautiful. I've always been in love with Bob Marley's work, and I did not know the story about his dad, or I did not know that Bob Marley's dad was a white guy that sits on horses. Interesting fact of the day for you. So I've gone on and on, like in true Koi Fish Johnny style, and waffled on and on and on and on about